If you just get him to talk about baseball, like the X's and O's and everything else about baseball, he is so good. There's a thing, I'm sure it's on YouTube, but there was a thing that was on Fox Sports 1 or something, and it showed how to hit. And it was Harold Reynolds, and I've got the other, and Pete Rose.
Harold Reynolds is terrible.
Yeah, he is. But he had a great thing about how to hit. And it made a ton of sense.
Pete Rose is the guy. If I'm gonna learn how to hit, I want to learn how to hit from Pete.
You know what? If you get like Pete with that bad hair job, a hair dye job, and the bad haircut, and everything, and then you get suave, Alex Rodriguez dating J-Lo. You get the dichotomy. It's just horrendous.
But that's why they make such an intriguing team. Is because, first of all, they both are baseball encyclopedias.
They are.
A-Rod is a huge baseball fan.
They were talking about how much A-Rod knows about, like, stats.
Yeah.
Like, he knows everything.
He knew everything. And it was funny. I was reading, I'm reading The Yankee Years, the book that Joe Torre wrote with Tom Verducci a few years ago. I found it at I'll just say a New York discount bookstore. And there was a story when A-Rod went to hang out at Jeter's place, and this was when they were by this time they were feuding, but they were trying to, trying to make it work. So A-Rod went over there with one of the other teammates, I think it was, and he went over to Jeter's place in Tampa, and he sits down and he grabs the remote control, and he says to Jeter, he's like, "Where's the baseball package?" And Jeter's like, "I don't get that, man." He goes, "I don't watch baseball." He goes, "What am I going to watch baseball for? I play baseball." And A-Rod was dumbfounded. He was just like, "Man, you don't have the baseball package? Like, what are you, crazy? Like, why not? You do play baseball. Yeah, you should care." And it was, it perfectly explained the two of them. Is that Jeter had other pursuits, and A-Rod was just so all about baseball. He was obsessed, and still is obsessed with baseball.
Yeah.
But Pete Rose, it's like a similar knowledge base, but it's such polar opposite ways of presenting the information. Because Pete, the other thing about Pete is he has no filter whatsoever.
No, that's why
he's on a broadcast, and he said something. This was like a few weeks ago, if not maybe a couple months ago. But he said something about like they were talking about something, and Pete says, "Oh, you want to bet?" and A-Rod just like put his head down, and he was shaking his head. He's like, "Pete, I'm not going down that road with you."
Oh,
but it was such a stupid thing to say. And it's like, "Oh my, Pete, what are you doing? Just be quiet."
Every time Pete tries to get out of the hole he's dug, it seems like he goes deeper. Anyway, we're going to take a break. By the way, I just did a search.
What do you got there,
It's
brother?
Marissa Guthrie of The Hollywood Reporter. The article's called "The Redemption of A-Rod Will Be Televised."
Yes, it will
if you
be.
want to look it
That's
up.
for sure.
An excellent article concerning A-Rod. You actually feel you feel sympathy for him after reading this article. Very good article.
I like A-Rod in his new role. I don't think he's doing anything for the Yankees, even though they're paying him $20-something million this year.
He's an advisor.
Well, yeah, but whatever. But he's finding other things to do, and that's good. Good for him.
J-Lo's one of them.
Well,
The opinions expressed on air are not necessarily those of WHPC, its management, or Nassau Community College.
Responsible opposing viewpoints will be considered by emailing them to whpc@ncc.edu or by mail to WHPC 1 Education Drive, Garden City, New York, 11530.
Thanks for listening to the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Look over there! I think... Is that a bird?
No, I think it's a plane.
Yeah, you're right. It's pulling a banner.
The brighter side.
Hi, I'm Sarah Albertson, host of The Brighter Side, a show showing a brighter side of the world. Weekly guests who are sharing their stories in hopes of moving and inspiring others to do good in our world. The brighter it is, the better.
I want to experience the brighter side.
Listen Wednesday afternoons at 4 and Sunday nights at 11:30 on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Bring on the positivity.
Answer me. Who taught you to listen to Radio Rumble at 12 p.m. on Saturday afternoons?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
I'd buy that for $1.
The Radio Rumble has it all.
Humanity will suffer with me.
Movie reviews.
No kind of saying it, you're wrong.
Sports talk.
Hi, sports fans. I'm Doug Frisch-Preed.
Awesome music.
Excellent!
So listen, Saturday afternoons at 12 p.m. for The Radio Rumble on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
I learned it by watching you.
Great White here. Once bitten, twice shy. It should be the other way around.
Terrible. Terrible music.
You don't like this song?
No.
This is a great song.
And I won this music. Turn this down. What are you making it louder for?
What do you mean you won this?
This was one of the CDs that I won when I was on remote control.
Really? You won Great White?
Great White.
Was it this song?
It was. I think it was.
Wow, I didn't know that. I don't remember that one.
And it was one of like maybe two CDs that were worth listening to. Just a garbage assortment of CDs.
And you had to pay taxes. You know,
I
people
know.
don't know.
By the way, if you're ever on a game show, don't just take everything because you have to pay taxes on all of it, like
That's
it's
right.
income.
Yeah, it is.
So anything that you win, think about if you want it, because you're going to pay taxes of about 40 to 45%.
And Tim Leonard paid 40% tax on crappy CDs. He won 10 CDs. One of them I took.
CDs were valued at, I think, I want to remember. It was
$16.99.
I think it was like $150 for 10 because it was 10 CDs. So I think it was about $150 I got charged. So 40% of $150 is $60. I got charged $60 for 10 CDs.
That you didn't even listen to.
And 8 of the 10 were garbage.
Yeah, one was Neil Finn, which is a good artist.
I don't even know who that is.
He was in Crowded House, but
okay.
No one, the album you got wasn't a good
No.
one. Anyway, brother, you want to talk soccer or you want to talk about the horrendous football we saw this weekend?
I don't know. How much time do we have?
We have 7 minutes.
We can talk real quick about football because there wasn't much to talk about
The Jets
in terms
game,
of the Jets and the
I
Giants.
actually had a friend of mine who said, "Hey, Rob, you want to go to the Jets game for free?" And I said, "Well, I'd like to, but I can't." But it was a horrible game, 7-3. It was just like a really bad
exhibition games are bad to begin with, but that was even a bad exhibition game.
And then I watched it later on. They reran it on SNY. It was just like, this is horrible. I mean, just really bad.
Yeah, because it's just the games tend to be dominated by the defenses. The Jets scored on their first drive and then didn't score again.
I forgot who it was, but some guy hit one of the fourth-string quarterbacks for the Jets. The Tennessee Titans, I forgot who the guy was, but he literally rammed him with his head. And you think that with all the concussions out there...
They call a penalty?
No, they didn't call it. It wasn't a ram hit. It was just, sort of like he tackled with his head.
They should have thrown a flag.
It wasn't, but it wasn't like he headbutted him or anything.
It doesn't matter. If you use the head, if you use the head as...
I was just shocked that, they still do that.
No, they should have thrown a flag.
People used to tackle bodies.
It's preseason for the refs, too.
Yeah, well.
As they say.
Anyway, the Jets defeated, Tennessee Titans 7-3.
Terrible game.
For people who went there, they paid full price, we should say, because that's what it's all about in exhibition games. Fools. And if you're a season ticket holder, you have to buy those tickets. A horrible crime.
Preseason for the fans, too. They got to work on getting their drink on.
Yeah, so a horrible game, boring as hell.
Yes, I will say that Christian Hackenberg, quarterback, did play more than half of the game. Went 18 for 25 for 127 yards.
Not that great.
Lots of safe, quick, three-step drop. Get rid of it. Let's have Christian put up some stats. It was that kind of day, and the Jets defense did have 8 sacks, which is pretty impressive. But 8 different guys had a sack, which
that's not bad. Spread
it around, but I don't know. I wouldn't have minded one guy having maybe 3 sacks.
And the Giants lost to the Steelers 20-12.
Bad O-line, which is the fear of every Giants fan this season, is that the O-line is not going to allow this team to do what it has the capability of doing, especially offensively, and in larger terms, in terms of winning. This is a team that has very talented skill players, but if the offensive line can't protect Eli Manning and can't open holes for the running game, then the Giants, they'll be a 10 or 11 win team, which is a nice season, but they won't go further than that.
Yeah, I think there's more expected of the Giants this year than a lot of teams out there.
The Giants are. I mean, they should be an 11 or 12 win team. I think they could challenge the Cowboys, but especially with Ezekiel Elliott being suspended for 6 games this week as well. But the Giants, they need their offense to be able to score points, and they're not going to win games scoring 17 points.
No,
and their defense is good; it's very good. But the Giants' offense needs to be able to take control of games.
Yeah, this is, I think, Ben McAdoo's season to prove himself, too.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. I don't like his hair so far.
Well, did he get a better suit at least?
No, he doesn't wear suits. There was just that one day.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
I have a better suit.
Yeah, you do. I'll give you credit for that.
Okay, quickly, brother. Red Bulls, NYCFC, Premier League, what's going on?
Well, we'll start with NYCFC. Sean Johnson, goalkeeper for NYCFC, had an outstanding game against the LA Galaxy.
See, the Galaxy have a name. Let's go Galaxy.
Let's go Galaxy. And the NYCFC wound up with a 2-0 victory over the Galaxy. Puts them in second place in the Eastern Conference, just 4 points behind Toronto FC. Your boy David Villa,
of course,
scored in the second half. Jonathan Lewis also scored in the second half. Villa leads MLS with 18 goals in 23 games. So he's having another outstanding season. The Red Bulls also won this week. They beat Orlando SC 3-1. Bradley Wright Phillips, another one of your boys, he got the go-ahead goal in the 60th minute, and Sean Davis scored a ridiculous goal. About 30 yards out, curled one in just inside the right post.
I love shots
Beautiful,
like that.
Beautiful shot.
Like that.
Credit. In fact, I think that if I'm not mistaken, that's his first goal of his career as well. So, props to him, or maybe that was Jonathan Lewis. I don't know. I'll check and I'll tell you next week. Anyway, Premier League started this week, and you got to love that because, man, I have missed the Premier League.
They take a month vacation or something?
It's way more than that. You should call your boy in Liverpool, and I guarantee you he's feeling the same way I am.
I talked to him on Friday.
See, he's probably feeling the same way I am, right?
I don't know.
So, Rob, the Premier League is back. Oh.
He's a Liverpool guy.
Yeah, well, they had a draw with Watford. Terrible result for Liverpool. And Liverpool's going to lose their best player, Coutinho. He's handing in a transfer request. So, bye-bye. So, anyway, Premier League, reigning champion Chelsea, which has spent all kinds of gobs of cash in the summer, they wound up losing to Burnley, lowly Burnley, 3-2. Way to start the new season. Chelsea actually had 2 players red carded during the game, which is actually an even better thing, and I'll explain why in a minute.
You got 25 seconds. So.
Well, the reason that it's such a good thing is because Chelsea plays Tottenham this weekend. So those 2 players, Gary Cahill and Cesc Fabregas, won't be able to play against Tottenham because they'll be suspended. So Chelsea and Tottenham, that's the big match this week. Is Chelsea and Tottenham because those are the top 2 teams from last season, and it's Tottenham's first league match at Wembley Stadium, which is their new home field for this season.
Right.
Tottenham actually defeated Newcastle United, which is back in the Premier League this season, 2-0 again. Dele Alli with a goal, and Ben Davies, defender, with a goal. Ben Davies has now scored in consecutive matches after scoring twice in 102 matches. It's a statistical anomaly. But that's your bizarre stat of the day right there.
Well, we're gonna have to end the show on that one, my brother. Sorry, we're done.
All right. Well, Tottenham's undefeated.
Of course. You've been listening to From the Press Box right here on 90.3 WHPC, and my name is Rob Leonard. He is
Tim Leonard.
And Tim, you're on Twitter at
Real Tim Leonard.
And this show will be up on Spreaker.com if you want to re-listen to it or if you want to tell your friends about us. We will see you next Monday at 10 a.m. right here on WHPC. Bye-bye.
The Yankees win 27 world titles.
Johan Santana throws the first Mets no-hitter.
David Tyree makes a catch for the ages.
Willis Reed walks out onto the garden floor.
For more great sports moments like these, be sure to tune in to all of our fantastic sports shows.
From the Press Box with Rob and Tim Leonard, Monday mornings at 10.
The Home Stretch with Anthony Tartamella and the WHPC sports staff, Tuesday evenings at 9.
Sports Talk with Chris Muldoon and the WHPC sports staff, Thursday evenings at 9.
And Beyond the Game with Jacob Valk, Brandon Johnson, and the WHPC sports staff, Friday afternoons at 3.
All of these excellent shows and more are on the Voice of